If you want to make a lot of money buying and selling gift cards, you need to step outside the box and start selling things by yourself. Especially, you want to create your own website. Well, either you drive all the traffic to it or you have your own eBay store. In this section, we'll be exploring how you create your own website and using the website to get traffic to it. So there's pros and cons with using this system, but the pros about it is pretty simple. First off, you don't have to pay the fees to eBay. And second, and the most important thing about is that when you have your own website, you can easily do dropshipping without any inventory. So for example, if you have a lot of gift cards that you can get from one specific location, you know they're reliable, you know they will send it to you. Now you can pick some of them up, put them on sale on your website, and when somebody buys it, you drop ship the gift card directly to your customer. And the good thing about this as well is that on eBay, if you do something like this and a few times you will be out of stock, you will get kicked out of eBay. But if you have your own website, it's not going to happen because this is your own site and your own business. So you can just easily refund the person and say the item is out of stock. So the next thing you want to do is to go into the templates section, and with the template section over here, you press on that, you get many different choices, and I suggest for you to pick either the online store or the retail and fashion section. So when you go to the online store, for this example, you're going to have a lot of different choices for you to pick. And out of all those choices, you can pick whatever you want, but keep one thing in mind, that those templates cost you more money. So every single month you have to pay a fee. Instead to the eBay store, you're paying to Wix.com. And then what they do is you can easily just post items for sale using those specific templates, and when you post those items for sale, you can easily buy and sell. So it does all the work for you, so it's not really hard for you to list things. All you have to do is change the images to the icons that you'll be actually using, and when somebody buys the item, you can drop ship and send that directly to the customer. But I have another solution for you if you don't want to pay the e-commerce fee. So what you want to do is something simple. You go to retail and fashion, and what we are looking for is for a website that you don't have to pay any fees. And this is everything that says e-commerce, you have to pay an extra fee for it. So we don't want that. We want something that says free on it that we're going to use as a template and recreate that and make it into our own website. So let's go into that and take a look what we got here. So now you have two different distinct choices for you to choose from. One is the computer repair and the next one is the electronic shop, and you can modify each one of them and create it to look like a real gift card shop. So that's what you actually want to do. You want to make this shop to look like a real actual gift card shop that you can go into it and you can buy and sell different items in it. So that's what I actually did. And we're going to go into the computer repair one. And this one is the one, the template that I decided to use, modify, and make it look like a gift card store. So I just want you to take a look at the one that actually came with Wix.com, so you can tell the difference, because I took this particular one, I edited and made it look even better. So let's go into the one that I created, and you can see that mine looks a lot more better and more professional. I put different colors in it because it makes people really want to click on things when something is really flashy. And second of all, what you want to do, you want to change the sections. You want to have an e-store section, you want to have a buy and sell section, you want to have a section that tells about us, who are we, what we offer to you, and why should people trust you. Because since this is a standalone website, people really need to know more about you before they make a purchase from you. So you can put over there like recommendations from different people who actually bought something from you previously, or you can put a link that goes directly to your eBay website, and then they can tell more about your history on that particular site. So they can get proof, and they actually can buy more stuff from here. So in fact, you can sell almost everything that you're selling right now on eBay, and then you can give people who are your clients on eBay, just give them a business card that tells them to go into your Wix.com site and buy it directly from you. So you're actually moving traffic that you're getting from eBay, and you're moving it directly to the Wix.com site itself. So what you want to do here is to pick 3 of the best images right in the front page. Then you want to say the name of your store, which is going to be gift card exchange or whatever you want to use. And you want to put a phrase here that tells people what you're giving them in here, which is going to say, need money for your gift cards. We can help sell your gift cards to us for cash. And here is for them the option that tells them to get cash now. And in this particular button, you can put anything you want. You can say whatever you want in it, but I do suggest for you to put something that makes them really want to click on it. And then you can change the link. You can just change the different links, so they can either email you here, which you can put your own email, or you can get them to actually go directly to your web address, which is going to be something that you want them to go into. So that's a few choices that you actually have here. So the next thing you actually want to do is to feature some of your best selling products on the website. And we have some right here, and I just handpick them. So you're going to be featuring the ones that are most likely to be selling, and the best ones right in the front of the store, because not that many people are going to actually go into the e-store itself and take a look for the rest. So you want to make sure you're getting sales right away. You're getting sales right when somebody just goes into the site itself and they like what they see here and they just want to buy it. Now keep in mind, last thing that you want to actually do, and I didn't do, is you want to say that this is going to be your company, and you want to change the little text here that says created with Wix.com, and plus you want to change the date it was copyrighted. This one says 2023, so you want to change it to 2015 actually. So those are the few things you want to do. That's definitely going to get you a lot more gift card sales, and will get you started in this new venture of yours that's going to get you a lot of money in the future. So the next important thing for you to do is to pick the niche you want to actually specialize in. And this is highly important, because what we're going to be doing is using this particular niche to create our own website. And I like cameras, so this is what I'm going to be using. So you can choose whatever niche you actually want, but you have to pick one that you like and you know a lot about, because then you'll create a very interesting website, and you can easily create this website in Wix itself. So this one that I already created here is the camera store, and what I'm going to be doing here is selling digital cameras. But the fun thing about my cameras that I'm selling is that you don't have to pay money for you to keep the overhead here, because first off, I'm using the free application from Wix, and second thing, I'm not really selling any actual goods. All I'm doing is creating my own affiliate marketing website. So when somebody goes in here, they see something they like, they click on it and decide to buy, they buy it directly from Amazon. I'm not even doing anything whatsoever here. After you create this, you just post it up there and the money will just start rolling. All you have to do is get the traffic to come in into your website itself, and that is the key to your success. So let me show you the next thing you have to do here. So after you created the website itself, get a few images there, set up different kind of prices, make it look fancy, make it look like a real store. The better it looks, the more professional it looks, the more likely the client itself who comes to your digital store is more likely to go in and try to buy something. So there's two ways for you to go about this, and let me show you the easiest way to do this. So the first thing you want to do is to find something that people want to actually buy. So there's different kind of cameras, and I like this one. This is a very fancy and cool looking. It is a bit on the expensive side, but that's what you want to do. You want to sell the more expensive products. So my primary reason for picking cameras is very simple. The percent that I'm going to be getting is going to be much bigger for bigger ticket items. So if it is something that somebody really needs and they're going to buy from you, they're going to pay the extra money because they need that particular product. So when you're actually selling something like cameras, you also want to sell accessories to them, because people only buy a camera once every few years. The accessories, they might buy a few of those every single year, and that's how you're going to make money on the small and the large equipment combined. Plus volume. The more people come in, the more money you actually make. So the first thing you have to do here is to go into the image itself, and here is the whole code that you have to go into, and all we're doing is copying it in here. After we copy the code, we're going back into the Wix itself, and we're going to be pressing on the app market. In the app market itself, you have to find something that's called HTML. So let's put that in here, HTML, and we are getting the HTML iframe embed. That's the one we actually want. Now, after you have this app itself, you just add it to the site, and it is free. So we add it to the site itself. Now here is the app that we are actually going to be using. It's going to look exactly like this. By pressing on the setting, we're going to be pressing on code, and here we are just going to paste it in here and update. So what's going to happen next, you're going to see something that looks exactly like this, which is the camera itself. So that's one of the options we have here. Let's go back to Amazon and pick something else. So we had an image here, but I want text plus image. It doesn't look that fancy what I just put in here. So let's go in here and copy the whole code. Go back to the site itself, press on edit code. We're gonna go in, delete everything here, and paste it in there, and press on update. And that's really that simple. Now we have something that looks exactly like this, and we just have to make sure it looks fancy. So you don't want the borders to look like this because people have to scroll in here. It looks kind of weird. You want to make sure it looks just right, which is like that. Then you have to take it and put it anywhere you want in the site itself. So let's pick a location that looks good for it. Keep going down, and let's put it right about here. And we have other cameras right there, so let's move that away from here. And here is the digital camera. This is one product that I'll actually be selling now on my website, which is kind of cool. So if somebody goes to my site, they see this particular product and they can just buy it just by pressing on it, and they get money right away, which is really nice actually. Now if you want to save time, there is a simplest way of doing it. Since we already have one up here, all we have to do is press on duplicate, and here is another one of those. So we don't have to even go back to the store and get any more of those because we already have them right here. So you can either duplicate the one that has nothing in here, or you can go back to the one we already got, and let's duplicate this one. So let's duplicate that one. We have another one right there. So now if you have a bunch of those, and we can make as many as we want until we have the whole page actually full of those, and it's best to arrange it in a way that looks fancy. So let's get 3 of them up here. One more, pressing duplicate, because I want up to 6 of them to populate the whole page itself. But you definitely don't want for them to look the same. So this is just to space them out, and what I will have to do is very simple. We'll have to make sure they all look kind of straight. So when you actually line them up, you see like the lines, there is going to be red different lines in here, and it shows right there that it actually lined up. And you keep on having to move it, and you see the line that goes through all of them. That means that it definitely is straight and it lines up with all the rest of them. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure they're all lined in a way that makes it look pretty fancy, and then equal space every single one of those to make it look like a professional job. Because if you make it look not really fancy, people would think like, hey, this guy is not paying attention to this, he's not professional, he's not serious about what he is doing, and that's definitely going to cost you in sales. The next thing you want to do is to go back and edit the code itself. You already have another code in here, so all we are doing is deleting it and putting the new code in, pressing update. So now we have two different products in there. Now you have to go in eventually, and every single one of those items will have to be replaced. So the next item that we'll be going into and getting is going to be something that's going to be an accessory. So let's get an accessory for GoPro accessories kit, because that's going to make you a lot of money, is the kit themselves for every item that you actually be selling. People want to buy the item, but they also want to buy all kinds of equipment for the item itself as well. If you get a GoPro camera, just the camera itself, it's practically useless if you can't mount it to anything. So you have to have a bunch of different things that you can use, and something like this that gives you all kinds of fancy accessories is going to keep them busy for a very long time. So let's go to text and image, and we're just going to copy it, go back to the site itself, and we have to make sure it's right next to the item that they actually are going to be buying, right next to it. So don't make the mistake, first off, of using the existing code. You have to replace the whole code before you put the new one in. So I'm actually updating it right there. So now we have the accessories for the GoPro, but the first thing you want them to see is going to be the GoPro camera, because if they get the camera, that's when they would want to get the accessories to the camera, not the other way around. So we have two items here. We have one camera, and we have three more spaces to fill up. So we would definitely want to get something that's going to be very, very expensive here, just in case somebody decides they want to get some really good camera. So the Mark V, Mark III camera is one of the most expensive and professional cameras you can get if you want to do real photography. And by professional, I mean you want to get amazing images. So this is the camera a lot of people will actually buy if they want to become a professional photographer. And it is expensive, but guess what? This is not as expensive as it was when this just hit the market. It was around $4,000 when it just came out. So there is a humongous difference between the ESO 5D Mark III and any other camera on the market today, especially when it comes to this price. You can't really beat this particular camera in terms of image quality. And if you want to do like wedding photography or do some real professional photography, you gotta get something that's gonna cost you a lot of money, because for you to make money in photography, you gotta invest a lot of money in photography as well. So that's the reason I like to sell cameras, and I think I can make a hefty amount of cash with it. So the first thing you want to do is go back in here. We are going to be copying the code. We are using a very expensive camera for this because we think that we can make a good amount of money. We only need like 1 or 2 people to buy this in a year for us to make like 200 or 300 or nearly like $300 per item sold. So you want to have expensive items in your store, and you want to have a bunch of cheap items, because that's going to give you a lot of money in the whole process. That's the way you want to go about. You want to make sure you have both ends covered, and that's how you make a lot of money with Amazon FBA and using Wix as the portal gateway for you to make cash. Creating a custom Amazon shop on Wix itself. So the first thing you need to do is to log into your Wix, then go into add a next page. So that's what we are going to be doing. So I just added an extra page to my website, and it says right here, new page. This is going to be my Amazon shop. So I'm going to be calling it Amazon shop, or you can just call it your shop, whatever you like. So I think the best thing to call it is actually your shop. There we go. Then what you need to do is to press on done, and it adds an extra page to your website. Now we're going to be taking this page and moving it, because right now it is featured right in the front, and I don't want that. I want to move it all the way where it says around photo right here. As you can see, it says right there, your shop, and it looks much better here. Or we can move it all the way where it says the blog. So I think maybe that is going to be the best location for it. So I'm going to be doing it right now, moving it all the way to the bottom, right there. Here we go. And you have to make sure that you don't accidentally put it in the wrong location. As you can see, I put it buried inside another menu. We definitely don't want this. So we want to drag it all the way to the left side until it's going to get and touch. And it has to touch the upper side of the left. Here we go. Now it is exactly what we want. So this is going to be my shop. Next thing we're actually going to be doing is adding just an image to our website. And that's it. That's the easiest thing to do. The next thing that I'll be actually doing is adding a Wix HTML template to my Wix website. And then after I do this, I'm going to link it to my Amazon associate account. So every single time somebody buys something from me, I'm going to get a sale for it. So I'm going to be doing is building up my own Amazon shop on my Wix website. So every time somebody goes to my Wix website and they buy something from me, I get commission for it. How cool is that? So to do this, I go to the app market. I type in HTML, go to HTML iframe. This is the one we want. Press on add to site. So we get one right here. Next thing I'll be doing is just duplicating it a few times. So I want at least 4 of those. So putting it right there, and you can arrange it in any way you actually like. It doesn't really matter. But you want to make it organized so it doesn't look unfancy. Next thing that I'll be doing here is adding another thing, and it's just going to be text. So let's go and get the big text and type in why people should buy this. So right here, I'm going to go and type in recommended items. And check the spelling. Make sure the spelling is always correct. You don't want to make mistakes with that. And I just called it recommended items to buy, but that's not good enough. You can even say cool gear to have. That's even better. Now some of the things I'm going to be putting here is going to be the gear I use myself, because it is best to recommend things that I use myself versus to go about and just grab a bunch of things that I just don't know about as much. So with that said, let's go and grab some things that we like and we use. And I like camera equipment. So let's type it in. Canon camera. Now we have some camera equipment right here, and take a look at this. You're getting an awesome deal here for $489. You can't go wrong. You're getting a DSLR plus a lens plus another lens plus telephoto plus almost everything you need to get started for next to nothing. There's a whole bundle of items that you're getting. So this is awesome. And I love Canon. So You can't really go wrong here with buying this. Plus, it is the #1 bestseller for a reason. So if it is a bestseller, you already know it is selling. So let's go in here, and this is my Amazon Associate account. We're copying down this whole text, going to the Wix itself, and now what we're going to be doing is pressing on setting. Now the next most important thing is to press on code and pasting it in. After you paste it in, just press on update, and it automatically did update it for us. So now all we have to do is to make sure it is going in the frame itself. And it did just that. And you don't want to have a menu that looks like this. So you want to make sure it is framed correctly, like this just did. Next thing we're going to be doing is going again to our Amazon Associate account and looking for something else. So since we are already talking about Canon stuff, we might as well grab something else that is also cool. So there is a lens that I love, and this is the Tokina 11-16 2.8 millimeter. The reason for that is that it's gonna make your pictures look like in the movies. The wide angle of it is gonna make you amazing images. So if it is something you wanna do and you love photography and you wanna take pictures that look like this, take a look at this. You can only do this with a super wide angle lens. And to do this, you have to get something that goes from 11 millimeter or even better 10 millimeter. But those are very expensive. So Tokina makes one for Canon. Make sure if you're grabbing something, it works combined together with something else that you're also selling. Meaning, if you're getting Canon equipment, you have to get the Canon camera with the Canon lens. So you can use aftermarket Tokina only if it works for Canon camera. Now, next thing we're going to be doing is the same thing we did before. Now, don't use just text or just image. Use text and image. It's the most effective one that you can use. So let's grab the whole text right here. Make sure you copy everything down. Going back to the site itself, pressing on it, pressing on setting again, pressing on code, pasting it in, and it updated it already by itself. Very cool. Now we are adjusting it right here. So we have the second item that we just got. Two more items. Going back in here, and let's get a DSLR camera. So the next thing we're going to be getting is for people who don't like those heavy big duty cameras and want to get something small. So let's get the one that I use myself, which is the Canon G7X Mark II. That's the one I use. I'm recommending a product that I actually use, and here it is, Amazon choice #1. Let's press on this, get the text and image, and the same exact deal works over here as well. Copy the whole frame down, moving it back right here, and doing the same thing here, putting the code in there and update, and we have another one. So that's how you do this. So that's how you start your own website in your own Wix account. So now what you have to do next is just to create the whole website itself. So that is the cool thing about going about and creating a website on Wix itself, is that you get to go about and create a website within a website. And now every single time somebody goes and buys something from you, you'll get a commission from Amazon. But keep one thing in mind, the great thing about Amazon itself is that the prices when somebody clicks on it versus the same exact prices when somebody goes directly to Amazon are identical. Which means that although you're getting a percent from this, and it is a commission, you are not charging them anything extra whatsoever. So this is a cool thing for you to actually do, and this is how you can get a bunch of extra money when you are creating your Wix website, because now you have your own sponsorship in the website itself. You're sponsoring yourself, you're sponsoring some of the equipment that you're wearing, you're using, and you like, and you're getting other people to buy it as well. And you're getting paid for it in the process. How you can go and send external traffic using Wix itself. So for example, I have a bottle robot that I sell on Etsy. So we're going to be taking the product from Etsy and actually selling it on Wix. But because Wix doesn't have something that links it directly to a checkout, to a payment checkout, and for that feature you have to pay a lot of extra money, we are going to go and show you a hack that you can use in order to just send the traffic directly to the site that you're selling the item at. So to do this, what we are going to be doing is the simplest thing ever. So let's go first over here. We're going to be pressing on add. We're going to be picking either an image or a button, and I highly suggest you pick an actual image. Or we can even use something else, such as a box. And the box is one of the most simplest ways to get started. So the first thing you need is the box itself. So let's pick on the box we'll be using. This is the box. You can use any box you like for this method. And now we're going to be moving it to the place that will be actually featuring the product, which is going to be the top of the page. So let's press on sponsored deals, move it to the top, and we're just going to call it cool items for sale right here. And here is the container box that we are going to be moving. Next thing that we need is to add text to it. So let's go press on add the text, and we're going to be picking the size of the text that we actually want, which is the site title. That's the small text, and then we'll drag it to it. Now I'm going to be calling it the name that I want, which is going to be Battle Robot, and station it in the middle. And I already have something similar on the bottom here. Now the next thing you want to do is to add an image to this, and you can add any image that you want, but the first thing that we have to do is to go to Etsy, and over here we're going to just pick the image that we want to use. Let's press on the image itself, and the only thing you have to understand is that with this method you have to have your own picture for it to actually work, otherwise it's not going to work. So let's go and do a screenshot of the image that we are going to be using. We took the screenshot of it, going back to Wix itself, and now we're going to be pressing on add, pressing on image, add an image, upload the image, going to image upload again, picking the image that we want, press on open. And now what we'll be doing is pressing on add to page, and here is the image that we are going to be adding. Now it is kind of big, so we have to scale it to size. All we have to do is just drag it a little bit more down. There we go. And it is still a bit too big, so let's keep on dragging it down. So now it looks more like it's gonna fit over here, just like this. So you can have the text showing like that, but I don't like it. It looks a bit of messy, so let's move it down right here, right there. And now one thing we need to do is to keep on moving it a little bit so it resizes itself, and it's going to try to resize and fit itself into the image. So as you can see, it cut it off a little bit here, and I don't like that. So since it did that, we have to go and resize it again. So that's one thing that can actually happen if you resize it the wrong way. And if this does happen to you, the solution for it is to go back, press on change image, press on the image again, press on choose image, and see if that's gonna solve the problem. Here is another one. Let's try this one. But if this doesn't work, you can of course delete it and try it again. So we're going to be doing exactly that. Let's go back, pressing on add, pressing on image, upload the image, just pressing on the image itself and add to page. Now this one is much better. So we're just going to resize it like this. And this time don't mess with the width of it. Otherwise it's going to do the same thing again. And it's very likely. So here we go. We put it in here. We want to make this a bit smaller. The text itself is a little bit too big for it, so let's go and make it more manageable, more small to size. And now the next thing we want to do is, and I will show you a little trick here. Now let's say for example this was overlapping. You can go and overlap it in a different way. So right now it is showing all the correct way, but sometimes it will actually show you and arrange in a wrong way. So let me send it to back. As you can see now it's gone. So if you did it the wrong way, it would accidentally send the product to back. And then what you have to do is to press on the item, press on the option, press on move backwards. Again, let's press on that. It's not working. Go over here and see bring to front. Bring to front. There we go, it actually worked. So sometimes you have to fool around with bring to back, bring to front, all those things, so it actually shows up the way you want it to show. Next thing that you want to do is to link it. So after we created the item, we want to link it directly to our website, which is going to be Etsy. So let's press on link. We can link it anywhere we want, but here we are linking it to the web address, which is Etsy. Going back to the Etsy site right here, we're going to go into the Etsy listing manager, leaving the site, and in listing manager we're going to go into the listing itself, pressing on this button right here, and now we're going to go into where it says share once, and it's going to give us the text we want. So we're copying that, going back to Wix itself and pressing on paste. And now make sure it presses on new window, not the current window. That's a classic mistake. If you do that, it sometimes won't load up correctly. So make sure you don't do that. Press on new window, press on done. Now next thing we want to do is to go and press on preview. So now we have this page being previewed, and we want to press on the item and see if it loads up and it goes directly to our website, which it did. So it is working. So you want to always make sure that whatever you're doing here actually works, and everything that you click on moves it to the next page. Here is a great way to save at least 25% off your subscription fee to GoDaddy. The best way to go about this is very simple. After you pick the domain name that you actually want to use and add it to your cart, you have to proceed all the way to checkout, but then don't enter the credit card information. You gotta wait at least a day, and then the next day, if you did give them all your information including your email, they should actually email you a promo code and ask you to proceed with it. So you can save up to 25% if you do use that code for GoDaddy. So let me show you an actual example of the same exact thing that I did on my own website. So the first thing that I did on my site itself, I actually have a section that I exclusively made for Amazon affiliate in it, and it's in my photo section. There's other different places here, but the most important part is the photo and the blog, and those are the two places that you can use as well to post different items that gives you affiliate links for extra income. So what I did in it is very simple. I put in the suggested equipment that I use myself to film my online classes. So when somebody goes on my site and wants to do the same exact thing, they see the different kind of links to different kind of very essential equipment. So all they have to do is to press on the link itself, and I'm gonna automatically get commission for every sale that I get from my website itself, because when somebody presses on it, it goes straight to Amazon, and anything that they buy from Amazon after that is the commission that I'll be actually getting. A few other things that I want you to keep in mind is that I use the free version of Wix itself, and you can tell this pretty easily because you can see the template right here that says create a Wix site on the side of it itself. And then if you're going to be scrolling down all the way to the bottom of the page, you're going to see that this site was created by Wix.com, and you can create your own for free. So for 20 bucks a month, you can definitely remove those advertisements from your website if you do think it is essential for your business. But for me, I think it's not, so I kept it over there. I don't want to pay extra 20 bucks for just two different signs on my website. The next thing that I actually did that is worth for you to pay is to remove the Wix.com in the title of the site itself, because it's going to look kind of weird. And another thing that I did, which is also kind of cool, I masked the domain. So if you press on any different section of my website, it's still gonna say the website itself, and it's not gonna say the full Wix.com whatsoever in it. So that's the reason I use the mask domain itself, and it is very cool and it works great for me, and it can work for you as well. So here is an example of what I actually did with Wix itself. I went in, and in my website I created a place that is called an online store, and you can see right here it says a store in it. And what I actually did is I linked all the products that I'm selling to my Amazon associate account. So every single time somebody goes about and buys something from me, I do get commission for the product. So here is how I went and did it. First off, I went and wrote text telling whoever is coming to my website what I'm exactly doing here. And I tell them that by clicking and buying any of those links, they support my business and my website. And I get commission from Amazon itself. Now, they are not getting charged any extra money because that's how Amazon Associate actually works. So regardless if they go using Amazon itself and they find the same product, or they go using my link, they still are paying the same identical price. Next thing that I looked up and I found an image that looks like a store, and I added to the site. So it looks a little bit better now because now it has a virtual kind of a store window to it. Then another thing I did, I put in the title for all the products that I'm actually selling. So there is 4 different products in each of those mini stores in it. So one is shipping and packing, I have one for photography gear, and so on. And on the right side, I put in featured offers. Those are the Amazon bounty offers where I get exclusive deals that are featured from Amazon, and when somebody clicks on it, I go and get commission from it as well. Then after I finished all of that, and one thing I want to show you is how it links it directly using the code. So pressing on code, every single one of those goes and links it directly to the Amazon Associate account. So if somebody wants to go in it, that's how it works. Then after I did all of that, I also went in and I posted 2 YouTube videos to some of the products that I'm actually selling. So I will show you right now how you can do this as well. And it is very simple. Type in YouTube. That's all you have to type in. Then you press on Video Player by Wix, and you press on that once. Then you press on Add to Site. So I already did that. I already posted one up here, and it is this one right here. Then what you're doing next, you're pressing on Change Video, and it's asking you for the web address for it. So delete the old web address, go back to YouTube, and we are going to be using this one. And over here, make sure you're not using the top link because that's not going to work, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. So let's use the top link, paste it in here, and it's going to tell you that it's not working. So what you have to do is go in here and use the video URL link on the side of the menu and press on copy. Then go back to Wix, paste it in here, and press on update. And here it is, the second video up here. So I also have video reviews of some of the products that I'm selling as well. So now if somebody wants to buy something, they click on my video, they watch the video, then they go to my YouTube channel, and then they can buy some of those things directly from YouTube, or of course they can go and buy them directly from my website itself. So that is the great thing about creating this whole online business that is actually created 100% made without having to invest almost any money whatsoever in it. And you get passive income as well. How awesome is that? If you enjoyed this video, your honest review is gonna help me out, and of course make sure you write something there, let other students know. With that said, see you in the next video.